I'm Jean-Marc Lulin, President and CEO of Azimut Exploration. Um, in few words, I'm passionate about exploration. I am a professional geologist, have a 40-year experience worldwide in mineral exploration. Azimut Exploration is focused in Quebec for very specific reasons. We generate projects and we have been able to advance those projects into discoveries, and we are ready now for the next step.
Jean-Marc, good to see you, sir. Right, we saw you back in January. It's been a long year for many. I think when we talked last, there was a kind of prospect generator, explorer type vibe to what you were doing. Can you give me sort of an update? Because I want to talk about specific projects in a second, but can you give me a sort of sense of how the company has evolved and maybe how the business has changed its thinking in the intervening 10 months?
Yes, when you are involved in exploration, the very key first step is to be at the right location. And as originally as project generator, our obsession was to be on the right places, to generate the best project we could generate, the best ones, the very best ones. And we did exploration. Unfortunately, maybe with chance, but maybe more radically with a systematic way to process the database, we have been able to make discoveries. And now we are changing, we are growing, and the company is just evolving with much more advanced projects on which we made discoveries.
Right. But has that changed your mind about what type of business? Because as an investor, I want to know, what type of business am I investing in? What is the business plan? What is the strategy? So tell me more.
Yeah, we are not considering ourselves as a project generator company now, but much more a development company to advance to the resource stage, to the PEA stage, on the very best discoveries we made. But in the meantime, we are advancing with our partners on other projects. But we keep the best ones, virtually the gold project for us, namely the Wabamisk gold discovery, the Fortin Zone, the Rosa zone, and we have also the intent to advance by ourselves the Elmer discovery.
Okay, and with the nickel PGE with the Kukamas, is that something you're JVing?
Yes, yeah, we are with KGHM. The relationship is very strong. We made a nickel, copper, platinum, palladium discovery. It's wide open, it's advancing, but the project is funded by our partner. We operate on their behalf. There is no downside. It's a true discovery, very exciting, high grade, but we are offering a percentage of interest to KGHM, and it's okay. It's good.
Okay, just in terms of this conversation, before we kind of dive into gold and antimony, can we just kind of close off the Kukamas? In terms of KGHM, can you just talk about what you think the plans are for 2026? And in fact, I think before that, maybe are the 2025 drill assays back yet?
We made a drill discovery, a very high grade nickel one. We had grades up to 19.6% nickel, up to 15 grams per ton platinum, palladium, with the other series of PGs. There is a good potential to extend the discovery, and now we are just advancing with additional ground geophysics, eventually airborne geophysics. We're doing the classical follow-up for a drill discovery. We try to expand, this zone deeper along strike, find additional zones around. It's advancing well. It's funded by KGHM, and we are planning another big program which is under review at current time by KGHM. but we are confident to go to the next step with our partner.
Right. Okay. Okay. So what I'm trying to ascertain is there still value? And I know
KGHM.
KGHM are moving forward. I get it, but in terms of, so I can understand and maybe try and assign some kind of value to it from you. I don't want to kind of skirt over it. So in terms of the Perseus conductor, are you chasing that at depth for them? Are you trying to sort of understand where, whether it represents multiple parallel shoots or is it a single channel? I mean, can you tell me a little bit more about what you're seeing?
The key progress we made at start, we already we only knew one single ultramafic body. Mapping turned out this into 7 separate ultramafic flows, comatite. Now we know that we are dealing with a Kambalda type nickel deposit, which is one of the largest, highest grade nickel camp in Western Australia. It's fairly unique for Quebec. And of course, we foresee the potential to find additional zones either along strike or along subparallel ultramafic flows. And what we already discovered has the potential to be extended deeper and along strike as well. We recently completed a 4,000 meter drill program with 14 additional holes. And of course, they are not released yet, but of course we are expecting good results. We have also another target type on this property. One potential for a gold-rich massive sulfide. The mapping program conducted last summer led to recognize a very fertile environment. Again, it's a 40-kilometer long property, still largely underexplored. In Quebec, generally speaking, or in many areas like the James Bay region, some people may believe that everything is already known. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. Good exploration lead to reveal unrecognized, highly favorable environment. We must believe in our ability to uncover brand new systems unrecognized before. And it's what we have proven at Kukamas. Nobody was even believing about its potential. Now we are revealing an incredible nickel potential, but not only nickel, also potentially gold copper massive sulfide system.
Okay, so 4,000 meters down, assays coming back. How much more work does KGHM need to do to kind of earn their 70%?
They already spent, or they are very close to having spent $5 million to earn 50% interest. We think that they will move ahead with their second option to earn an additional 20% interest by delivering a PEA. This is the next step. And we may stay operator.
Okay, so and when are you expecting that to be delivered?
It will take at least 2 to 3 years.
Okay, fine. Okay, just so I understand. Okay, let's park up Kukamas and let's get back to Wabamisk. Okay, you talked about the Fortin Zone and obviously the Rosa Zone as well. So just on Fortin, if you could describe Fortin Zone in terms of that antimony gold that you're chasing.
Fortin, to explain it in a simple way, we already knew an antimony target on Fortin. What is the driver for the Fortin Zone? It's a huge, strong, regional scale antimony anomaly in lake bottom sediments. And you know, the prospect we knew was like a 2.7% antimony prospect, a single one isolated in the middle of this huge anomaly. And we say, hey, it's not possible that a so small prospect may generate a so huge and so strong anomaly. As soon as the project returned back to us at 100%, we decided to start exploring and find uh, the true relationship between an isolated showing and a huge regional scale anomaly in lake sediments. After 2 days of prospecting, we found a new showing delivering 25% antimony instead of 2.7, 10 times more. And very quickly, we have been able to strip this area, to put channel sampling, systematic channel sampling, and yeah, we confirm the extent, the width of the system. We started seeing that it was not isolated but part of a huge system in relation with the regional scale lake bottom sediment anomaly. And this gave us confidence to accelerate and to consider this target, uh, to 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 recognize the merit of this huge target. And we started to do a lot of prospecting, stripping, and then to start drilling it.
So you've done about what, 10,000 meters so far, something like that?
Yeah, 12,000 meters. Yeah,
12,000
yeah,
meters.
yeah.
Sorry. Okay, fine.
86 holes.
86 holes. And so, how much of the system remains untested? I mean, and how much more are you going to do? Because people are very excited about antimony at the moment and gold. So it's, you know, because some companies are, you know, that are thinking differently about how they chase after projects. I mean, are you going to be putting out a maiden resource soon?
The first step will be to outline what we have, and of course, there is always a possibility of having a resource. Now we have to first outline the size of the system, what we know at current time, at least 1.8 kilometer strike, open further west in a very clear way, likely open further east, and totally open at depths. Now it has been tested down to 250 meters, still strongly mineralized at that depth. And, you know, we started drilling with 100-meter spaced drill holes along strike and along the vertical dimension. It's open. It's mineralized, and it's not like a thin antimony bearing system. We got up to you know, thicknesses of 50 meters or more. We're talking about a wide, continuous mineralized envelope, very likely with ore shoots at higher grades, higher than 1%, but the overall system is a large one. It's not like a small prospect in which we try to develop some continuity. Well, not in that case, not at all. To the best of our knowledge, it's one of the largest antimony bearing system in Canada. And we're not only looking for antimony, but also for gold.
Yeah. But what can tell me what's your understanding of that kind of vertical zoning? You're sort of seeing in this shallow antimony, and then there's sort of deeper gold. Is that right?
Not necessarily shallow. It can be maybe, you know, so far we know high grade antimony from surface down to 250 meters. It's still open deeper. Now, what we try to reach is a gold rich zone, hopefully deeper, as this pattern, this Yeah, this pattern has been already recognized in several antimony mines. You have the gold-rich zone starting deeper below the antimony-rich zone. Uh, at current time, we already know uh, significant gold grades at surface, or sparse high grade gold related to antimony grades. But of course, we try to see this zonation, and for that we will have to drill deeper. But in any event, but even by drilling deeper, we will get antimony.
Everyone's excited about antimony at the moment. Are you going to do any work to try and understand, what you've got there in terms of the recoverable component? Would it be recoverable with standard
Yes,
flotation?
yeah,
Are you going to do some met work on it now?
yes.
Because you've talked a lot about showing scale and obviously that's great, but what do we know?
uh, you know, uh, Metallurgy is a key component of any antimony project, and we have a metallurgical test in progress right now, conducted by SGS, and it's advancing very well. Preliminary results are encouraging.
Okay. And obviously, as prices move, I suspect that internal cutoff will be changing as well, for sure. In terms of where you're at, permitting, environmental considerations unique to antimony deposits in Quebec. Again, what do we need to know?
We are not really worried about this side of the business. The relationship with the First Nation is very good. Mining activities overall are well supported by the Cree First Nations. They know us very well. We have established a long-term relationship. They are supportive of about mining. Generally speaking, on relationship with Azimut is very good.
Okay, so you're just to leave me with this. So with Fortin Zone in 2026, what will we be expecting to hear and see from you?
Much more drilling. This is not already fully defined. We are expecting more results to be able to to refine our drill strategy. But much more drilling with a dual objective. First one, advance to better define what can be the size of an antimony deposit, and also the second objective, further look for the vertical zonation, looking for gold.
Okay. So a lot happening, and I guess let's go to Rosa, because I think the question, we need to understand what it is, but also I guess ultimately is there kind of can you integrate into a kind of shared regional development concept with the Rosa zone? So tell us what you've got first of all.
Rosa, you have to consider that this area, the overall Wabamisk region, first recorded exploration work is recorded in the year 1935, 90 years ago. And what we found at Rosa started last year. We have collected a 1.3 gram per ton grab sample, isolated grab sample. But we decided to come back in this area to do additional follow-up prospecting. What we discovered is virtually an outcropping, strongly mineralized zone, gold-bearing zone, with a lot of VG. And it's a brand new discovery, never recognized before. And this has been a big surprise to have us like an outcropping zone, extensive with a lot of VG, never recognized before. 11 companies have been involved in that area prior to Azimut. And it means that it's still a virgin region with many potential surprises. And of course, this gave us an immense confidence about the potential of everything we already know around it. And now there is like a gap between the Fortin Zone and the Rosa Zone. There is a 15 kilometer gap in between with many positive indications. And this is totally opening our horizon for the project. We have been all the time strong believers about this property, but now it's just like a proof, a field proof that we are talking about true targets.
Well, obviously, like I think with like 11 out of 26 holes showing visible gold, I think the question that people would be wanting you to answer is about grade continuity. So can you talk a little bit more about these kind of VG clusters that you're seeing and how they kind of relate to the IP anomalies? And again, I guess, are we talking about multiple stack zones? What do I need to know?
First, we already know 200 meters of almost continuous outcrops delivering VG. Okay, and it's a high-grade zone. There is an additional 100-meter strike extent further east, and overall we have already defined a 300-meter strike of high-grade gold results on outcrops. Okay, this is the first step, delivered, uncovered by basic prospecting. Then we have been able to correlate this high-grade gold zone with IP anomalies, chargeability and resistivity. There is a strong spatial correlation between the high-grade, outcropping high-grade, and this IP anomaly. And in fact, the IP anomaly is much more extensive, more or less the same axis, has a 1.4 kilometer strike extent. It is open both ends, but at current time we have like a target of 1.4 kilometer, and within this 1.4 kilometer of IP target, we have a 700 meter of already defined gold-bearing outcropping prospects. This is the very strong correlation. Then we start drilling and we have coherent results with what we see at surface.
Okay, so have you identified any controls on these high-grade shoots? And I guess second follow-up to that part would be, what's the significance of the second subparallel gold trend that you're seeing as well?
About the controls, again, we have like results which are pending, and what we need is to make the correlation between encouraging visual observation and the assays. And we need to have this information, but...
When are they due?
Sorry?
When are they due? When will they come?
Within the next few weeks.
Okay.
By the end of this year or very early next year, we will be able to deliver these results. And we need these results not only for the public, not only for the shareholders, but primarily for us to prepare the next program. Saying that, gold, visible gold is related to quartz veining. There are a number of quartz network, like shear veins, flat veins, extensional veins. the amount of VG is quite unusual. And we're not only speaking about coarse gold, but also 100,000 very, very fine gold, like a gold dust around coarse gold. Of course, this is nice. This is encouraging. We expect good results, but until we have the results, we can't say anything. But
Okay.
it's interesting. Um, on this gold is related to meta sediments. We believe that, of course, meta sediments may be a very good system for pervasive mineralization.
Okay. Okay. So we'll have something. So you have us this back end of this year, if not beginning of early January time. Okay. Yeah, okay. We can maybe come back to those questions. And again, looking at 2026 in terms of being able to kind of define some kind of resource, you're going to need how many more thousand meters?
I understand the question. Of course, we will do the very best we can to accelerate to the next stage. It's very obvious that this will be driven by results. We expect good results, and we should be able to do everything we can to accelerate, to expand this zone along strike at depth. Um, it is still wide open. Even the thickness of the system is not, the envelope of the system is not fully defined. What is interesting with the last drill holes we have drilled, we started observing that we have VG not unrelated with the IP anomalies outside the IP axis, further south, more likely related to a wide zone with strong resistivity. The system is not fully outlined at current time.
Okay. Okay. And before we kind of jump into Elmer and Pat One, when will you put a kind of drill program together for both of those? And then obviously you're going to presumably going to need to raise some capital to do that. Are you of the mind of go get as much money as you can, or is there's a kind of steady, methodical, systematic process that's required here, and it's not a case of throwing money at it, it's about doing it the right way?
Again, it's a good question. We want to advance as quickly as possible, but in a rational way, which is not excluding speedness. If we have to accelerate, we have the ability to accelerate. We are a technically driven company. We are acting rationally. Enthusiasm and belief is not lacking in the team. We are believers. We are passionate. Money has never been an issue. We will put the right strengths at the right time.
Okay, you'll be giving guidance presumably some point in Q1. Yeah.
We will have a program defined early next year.
Great. Okay, I'll come back to you on that one. Let's go to Elmer and Pat One, because obviously here we're talking about you moving towards development, or potentially with a partnership. Where is the kind of scoping study on this?
Yeah, the scoping study is well advanced. What we see at current time, the resource we already defined has been defined using a gold price of $1,800. Of course, we are not living in the same world at that time. Just based on the gold price, we are not with the same resource. This is the first point. And now we just acquired more confidence about the strike potential, the potential to define subparallel zones. Now we have to put our priorities in the right order. Of course, we are very excited by by the Rosa discovery, by the Fortin discovery. But we had also the ability to concurrently advance those three discoveries, but in the right order. And of course, Elmer Patron is at the top of our agenda. Uh, from a technical standpoint, it's a classical story. We already have a resource, and we have to find the right timing to go to the next drill phase. But of course, we know many good targets which may lead to expand the resource base. And just to we have acquired additional claims further west. And we did some preliminary assessment work. The new prospect we have acquired are very good. This is providing new ideas to further extend pattern further west. We have many good drill targets, but this will be advanced at the right time.
But what are you chasing? Are you trying to understand like a VMS potential for the property? Are you trying to work out, maybe what an updated resource could look like? Are you trying to think about whether you should be partnering on this, given obviously the what's going on with Rosa and Fortin? Because it's like you can't manage everything and you can't finance everything, so you're going to have to be clear about the strategy for each and the funding for the company. Yeah,
absolutely. Where can we generate value for the shareholders, for Azimut, to become to go to the next stage as a development company? Of course, Rosa is wide open. We are within the discovery phase. We don't know ultimately what to expect. It's unknown, but an extremely attractive target. 14 is a little bit more advanced, but it is also wide open with the attractive potential gold rich zone deeper is still at the early stage given its size. Patron more advanced, but we are renewing our view first to just incrementally expand what is already known. We have a gold-bearing envelope, a gold-bearing resource, which is not limited by barren holes. Just by adding holes along strike, we have good chances to simply expand the resource base. But in addition, we define additional targets along strike, which may correspond to not to gold only targets, but also copper, silver, gold targets further west and further east. It's still it's a classical case of a gold resource in the Val-d'Or area. You already knew this area for 30 years, 40 years. Nobody paid attention to it. Everybody was discouraged about this small resource. And at some point, you have the ability with additional money to put 10,000, 20,000 additional drilling, and you are just like changing the view of everybody about this small resource. It's exactly the way we see Elmer.
So I'd say obviously, yeah, Val-d'Or region, Quebec, it's fantastic. Eldorados and Agnicos, having a lot of fun there. But I think there's a little bit.
You said Agnico and Centera, our strategic partners.
Yeah. So everyone's, it's a great place to be. But what do you think the market's looking to see from you? You could go from a kind of prospect generator explorer model to an explorer developer model. With geologists, I think someone said to me once, he said, geologists, get very, very excited about the rocks, and maybe sometimes they forget about the kind of commercial imperative of running the business. You've got a lot of things, a lot of plate spinning here. So in terms of the kind of commercial component here, do you think you've got the team and experience that can actually move multiple projects through and have the right model for each of those projects to drive the value for your shareholders?
Again, it's exactly the point that we reached. We are Azimut has grown from a pure project generator attracted by pure grassroots targets to an advanced explorer recognized for the value of its discoveries. We are very confident. First, we are in the process of simplifying our business. We have a big project portfolio. We try to reduce it to be recognized as a more focused developer in the market. And this will drive more and more interest for new investors, new shareholders. We are growing. We are simply growing, and in the team we have people, of course, which have been already involved in advanced projects, and of course we have the ability to accelerate to the next development stage, PA, and eventually pre-feasibility study. At some point, we have to clean up our portfolio, focus on the 2 or 3 projects where we have made discoveries, continue with our good partners, KGHM, Rio Tinto, Soquem, good business for us with no downside. Eventually, we will make a discovery which will be mined by our partners. No problem, not an issue at all. But in the meantime, we are advancing 100% on gold projects, and we want to keep them for it.
Jean-Marc, look, I've enjoyed the catch up. I like the transition and the simplifying, stripping back of the story. You've got the cash in the bank to get after it in the way you describe. You've got the partners to support you. And now you just need to show the assay results are delivering on that vision that you've got. So I appreciate your time today. And don't leave us so long before we see you next time, okay?
Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, Matthew.